a sovereign nation.
You were raising that point yesterday, and that was on radio, I believe. And Captain Sokojo, who was with you, was telling you that
Captain
number one,
just a minute. Countries doesn't even have
yes,
aircraft.
Indeed.
What does it mean?
Captain Sokojo was telling you yesterday. Just a minute. Captain Sokojo was telling you yesterday that first of all, you can't say an aircraft is old. All you have to do is to check the fuselage and some other technical parts of the aircraft. If that is fine, you can use it for as long as you want to.
Captain Sokojo then he moves on to say, president.
Oh, my goodness.
She's not the president.
But he's an expert.
And the presidency should be protected at all costs. We are being petty as a nation. Please. We have actually spoken our minds that a new jet is required for the presidency, which we see as a whole, I don't even know.
Nana, are you aware that some countries don't even have a presidential jet? Are you aware?
Ghana is not some countries. When you say this, I'm beginning to think that pettiness is at all angles of our thoughts. Why should we think that we are some country? This is Ghana. This is Ghana.
You feel we have the money?
Oh, we go for loans and come and throw it into the bushes. How come we cannot go for a loan to buy an aircraft?
You want us to take a loan to buy a presidential jet?
You see, this one that is gone for repairs was bought by NDC government.
President Kufuor actually purchased this one. It's in France. That's the Falcon.
Did President Kufuor take it away?
No.
So we should treat the presidency as an institution, not an individual thing.
Kojo, let me ask you this question. You are in the business field. As your coalition, are you willing to contribute towards that? You're rich men, you're businessmen. You have all the cash in the world. You're saying we're not poor, is it?
Come to that level.
Okay.
We are being too petty. It shouldn't come to that level. Ghana can do this to save our leadership. We can. And we shouldn't be too petty. Like these nurses and doctors issue. If you've been to hospital and you've witnessed a negligence from the side of a nurse or a doctor, you will not believe it. Who are suffering in the country. Out of, please, we should stop this.
Okay, Nana, just hold on for me. Let me get the thoughts of Ivan and Kojo. Ivan, that's the point. Businessmen want the president to go all out, purchase a new presidential aircraft. That would be another political hot potato.
I think considering the recent news about how the president got stuck up somewhere, as a Ghanaian, I think it's always right, or it's common to see some of these concerns being expressed that the president would need some sort of comfort and his security and other staff are concerned. We need to do something about it. But I think at this point...
He's denied it. He said, no, he had a good
yes,
in Dubai.
Okay.
That's what he
said.
But
I think at this point, activating a conversation for a purchase of a new presidential jet will be a jump over. And I think we must slow down because as at this point, none of us is privy to any technical report detailing the fact that the current presidential...
If you say that, people will challenge you on that because may his soul rest in perfect peace. Dr. Omani Boma addressed the press in July calling the presidential aircraft sick. That's how he tagged it.
Yes.
The reason for which is in France.
But sick, not dead.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I guess.
Sick, not dead. It's the reason why we've taken it for repairs. So why don't we wait for a technical report from the engineers? If they're able to pass some kind of a conclusive judgment that at this point, this particular jet cannot be used any longer and must be grounded, then we can have that particular conversation.
You feel it should be based on a report? Why not have more than one? Say you have, and it's just like a normal analogy of a car, right? You have a car, one isn't working, you rely on the other. Now the president will have to fly commercial simply because we are relying on one.
I think that is a conversation we can have, but I'm just basing on the fact we have...
You don't feel we should buy an extra one?
At this point, I think that would depend on the state of this particular jet. We wait for a report and see whether they are in good condition.
We can have two. Captain Kojo yesterday was telling us, apologies for those who didn't listen to last night.
Okay.
He was saying that Nigeria, you have as many as 5.
Yes.
As 5. For Nigeria, our big brothers.
Nigeria. Oh, yeah, we can have. I think it's a conversation that we can have, but based on this peculiar situation that we have at hand, I think we need not to jump over ourselves.
Don't you feel it's because of the politicking that we did around it?
No. I don't see the political bit of it. You see, I have listened to some people calling on Honorable Kojo and Felix to apologize to. I think that particular argument lacks some logical.
Are you sure?
Yes. Why should they apologize for what? The fact of the matter is that at the time when the president was hiring these expensive jets, at the time, we were privy to the prevailing economic circumstances and the situation at the time. It hasn't changed, though. That is why I'm not calling for a purchase of a new jet. You understand? The prevailing economic circumstances of the country at the time did not warrant the president going out there to hire an expensive jet. You see, it's not about the hiring, but it is about the type of jet you're hiring, and the cost at the time was quite outrageous. And that is...
You give a chance to the president, he would have to choose...
Exactly. No. But you see, if you are being a president, it's not an avenue to be in luxury or comfort. You see, very often you must put yourself in the shoes of the citizens and must reflect the economic circumstances that the ordinary person is going through. Yes, I am not against the fact that the president going out to hire a jet. If the one we have is not in good condition, he can always go for. But you must opt for less expensive ones. But the conversation at the time... No. They don't need to, because the time in question, we were in dire condition, economic conditions. At a time where all the rating agencies have downgraded the country, at a time we were knocked out of the financial space, we could not go out there to borrow. At a time, pensioners were forced to take a haircut and those kind of stuff. These were the economic prevailing conditions at the time. So, as president, if you cannot identify yourself with these challenges that the ordinary person are going through, and you opt to go for such an expensive jet, definitely it was still full of conversation. So for me, I don't think they owe anybody an apology. No.
Imagine there is a room full of people having a conversation to take a decision to get a plane. And those at the table is Honorable Oblakwa, Felix, Shamina, and
the president himself.
The president himself and all the other people who bastardized having a presidential plane in the last 8 years.
Kojo, was that what they did?
Yes, please. Oblakwa basically made it a political meal every time he was on TV with documentation to show and all that, right? Imagine those guys are in a room to talk about presidential plane. Would that ever happen?
It could happen. He's posted on X. The foreign minister has posted on X, and he says...
Let me finish.
You don't want to listen to him?
When I'm making my submission, let me finish. Listen. Let me tell you something. We spent over 780 million Ghana cedis in one day electing a president. Let it sink in. Over 780 million Ghana cedis in one day.
That's how much our election
cost. How much our election cost in 2024. Right. 780 million. The specific number is 786 million Ghana cedis to elect one person. But it's too much of a problem when that person we spent 786 million Ghana cedis to elect has to travel, and we have to give him some level of luxury.
Are you saying we elect presidents to leave?
We elect presidents to give that office. You see, it is not the person that we should look at. It's the office of the president. Kojo Poku, my complete and ultimate submission is that our presidents travel too much. We should have less travels of presidents. The executives, the parliamentarians, the MPs, the ministers, everybody travel too much in this country. It's too much. We should lessen, for me, 5 travels a year. UN, ECOWAS, AU, and maybe...
If there's a development fund of about 100 million
I don't see...
to pick up,
somebody saying that...
No, because the president, for instance, in Japan, the president has just signed a 100 million deal.
He has not signed anything. An MOU that we've signed has never materialized. Let's move on. But the person will come to Ghana, somebody will ask him for 10%, and that person will go back. So let's move on.
You're being doubtful.
No, it's never happened. All the MOUs that ever signed in this country has never materialized. So these travels or these economic... Never happened. Listen, you are traveling on business. on Emirates to go and ask someone to invest 10 billion in your country, would he take you serious? Please.
Look, I was going to point you to what the foreign... No. Yeah, I was just going to point you to what the foreign minister says.
My brother.
He says, just briefly, because of time, he says that, look, you don't have to ask me to apologize, because even President Nanado himself, when he was a member of parliament, criticized Jerry Rawlings for his decision to purchase
Jerry never bought a plane. A flight lieutenant who was head of this country from 81, it's only in 98 that he got the Gulfstream. And even that one was shared in secrecy, so President Kufuor in 2006 let it go. My brother, let's rebase this conversation. Does the presidency need a plane?
President Kufuor opposed that.
It doesn't matter who, my brother. Right. Somebody opposing it, this person opposed, doesn't make it right. That is where they are suffering. They are suffering it because they oppose it, they can now speak for it. But I'm saying that, as a country, does the presidency need a plane? Yes. But the point is that advances in technology and commerce has moved on so much that you don't need to buy a plane. There is dry lease, there is wet lease, there is timeshare, and there is outright buy. How much is a plane? $30 million. It's not a lot of money. With the amount of money that goes on in the presidency where Shamina sits, it's not money. No, let me conclude.
Yeah, we have 3 minutes to go.
Let me conclude.
We have 3 minutes
The point I'm making quickly is that they need to now rebase that conversation for, as a nation, find a befitting role for the presidency to have a plane that he travels on.
Shamima, let me bring you in. The president last night commenting on what happened in Dubai. He says he was never stranded. But will we get a new presidential jet?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Well, very interesting comments. As the government, we are taking all the comments that are coming around this particular issue to buy or not to buy a private jet. This is not the time to make any statement on that issue. As you all know, it's not even a presidential jet. The Ghana Armed Forces jet is in France undergoing maintenance work that has delayed for several months. And unfortunately, our dear comrade, Dr. Omani, was on the floor of Parliament to answer questions about the state of that jet, which, again, it's a jet that we have come to inherit over the past couple of months, which jet the president has actually used to travel since he came. The president's travel, especially when he was doing his good neighborliness tour, he was in times when that particular jet, which we have christened presidential jet, when it was not available for him, his brother's jet was at hand to help him, ensure he meets his obligations. Kojo made some interesting comments, and I think that it explains the difference in positions between our two traditions. NDC has never been against the acquisition of jets from the period of Jerry John Rawlings, who himself was a flight lieutenant, to when we came into power, when the NDC came into power after the 2008 elections, and Kufuor had already ordered some 2 aircrafts, a smaller one and a bigger one. And because of the situation we had come into, the president, then the late President Evans Atta Mills, opted to choose the smaller jet out of the bigger, more luxurious jet. Today, the word luxurious has a meaning, and Kojo has just communicated to us how they feel a president must be taken care of. Of course, a president must be taken care of. The position of the NDC continues to be safety and some level of comfort other than luxury. Kojo has told us that if we spend 786 million cedis to elect a president, it means that president should be giving some form of luxury.
He says if that's the amount, why not just spend a little portion of that
to ensure some luxury?
To ensure that the president is
terminology
safe.
matters. Because if you are thinking luxury, what you're looking for is different. If you're thinking
he said safety. He said safety.
But luxury is relative, Shamima. It's relative.
And some
your definition of luxury is different from my definition.
If your mindset is luxury, then you would opt for luxurious, jets that are also safe, but that have all kinds of
So are we going to get a new jet?
In them. Blessing, I don't know if I'm following you, okay?
Yeah.
Well, if I make so that we can agree. You see, the other young guy, I forget his name in the studio.
Ivan, yes.
He said, Ivan has said a lot of things, which also is lost out on the current debate, because all of a sudden, it would seem as if the NPP wants to justify all the things that went wrong. The NPP had 2-term mandate, 8 good years. In the first term and in the first part of the second term, there was no politics around the issue of luxurious private jets. That is a fact. There was never an issue. Why did that become an issue? By 2022, inflation had hit 54%.
All right.
We had gone back to an IMF program. The time the president was asking all of us to tighten our belts, Blessing, you covered it, you knew it. Was that the time? And today, Kojo has told us that all these travels we have been doing and signing MOUs has yielded no fruits for Ghana, which means that even our complaints that the president then, when he wasn't using the state aircraft, but opting to use a luxurious aircraft. Kojo has just told us this morning that even with those travels, nothing came by way of benefit to Ghana.
All right.
Then that even makes our concern more poignant. So it is never about purchasing or having or ensuring the safety of the president. That will be done.
Okay,
and even as we speak,
yeah.
if President Mahama needs to travel with a private jet, it will happen. The difference would be that the mindset in securing that private jet is not about a luxurious private jet to ferry the president to the spaces. And since he came, he has turned down a lot of invitations to travel.
I see.
He's traveling minimally in comparison. And he's traveling more prudently in comparison.
Yeah.
And we must accept all this and not make it look like all of a sudden all the wrongs and ills that we all saw about the profligacy of the outgone government are today justifiable because the president has elected to travel commercial.
All right. Apologies to...
It's almost like President Mohammed...
Well, you let other people talk.
Apologies to all of you. I'm just prompted that we've run out of time.
All the time.
But she came in later than you, Kojo. We need to go. This is what I want to do briefly, please. Just spare some 5 minutes for these gentlemen who have spent time with us in studio. The gentleman in front had wanted to make a point quickly, or we start from the back and then we come to him. Yes, 30 seconds each for all of you. Yeah, 30 seconds, yes.
I would like to start by saying that symbolism and comfortability has never overshadow fiscal responsibility. What I'm trying to say is that at this particular time, we are looking at priorities and economical face first. Yeah. What do we need as a country right now? Can we prioritize the buying of private jets to other economical activities and economic importance and some agent ministries that we are supposed to look at? Education and higher sectors. I mean, we've already discussed that we should take a very close look at it first.
Yes.
Thank you.
The gentleman in front, yes. 30 seconds. Yes, just go ahead. We can hear.
I think that the need for a private jet at this moment is not needed.
Yeah.
Yes, the president is traveling, he's restrained, perhaps spending 20 hours on a transit at Dubai or something like that. But I think that because of our current economic situations, buying a private jet right now is not a necessity. However, if in any case that we've been able to get recovered by our economy is able to recover from its woes, I think buying a private jet would be an issue of something that we should look into. However, it shouldn't just be about politics. We should look at the issue of security and priorities. Okay. At the end of the day, right now, we have much more things that we need to do with those monies that we can use to buy a private jet, and also to look at the security of the president.
Right. Speaker, briefly.
Well, I would like to touch in by saying that the issue of political polarization surrounding this jet debate, with the accusation of hypocrisy and this partisan double standards dominating this narrative, is not necessary.
Right.
It is really national security at stake. Whether the president chooses to reduce travels or not,